Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you are listening to and watching a brand new episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And joining me, as always, is my co-host, Rebellious D and Trav. How you fellas doing today?
Good.
Ready to go, man.
Hey, it's always good seeing you guys. And joining us today, our special guest, the unknown songbird, Morgan Berry. How you doing today, Morgan?
Hi, I'm doing pretty good. Happy to be here.
Hey, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate you coming on. Just a funny story before we get into this. Trav had hit me up because he was just like, yo, like, how did Morgan Berry get into our DMs? Like, you didn't message her, did you? And I was just like, I was just like, Trav, don't you worry about
I was just like, how the hell did Morgan Berry messaging? Like, why is Morgan Berry messaging us pretty much? Like,
you already know, Trav.
But it was just funny. But yeah, Morgan, again, thank you for joining us on today's interview. I was about to say review. But yeah, with that being said, before we get into it, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Steve?
I like the thing. I don't
podcast in the description. Please check us out, guys. Thank you. And girls, thanks.
And with that being said, let's go ahead and get into today's interview. So, Morgan, what we do with all of our guests that we have come on, we have them tell their origin story. So let everybody know, who is Morgan Berry?
Cool. Who am I?
Good movie.
Hey, that's my favorite Jackie Chan movie too.
Good movie.
I'm a voice actress, a recording artist, a YouTuber, and I guess, should I tell my journey, my story?
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course.
Hey, this is the juicy stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it all started at the end of 2013. I won a voice acting competition that was being hosted by Todd Habercorn and Heather Walker and a few other voice actors. And when I won that competition, I won an audition at Funimation. And so from there, I auditioned. I started auditioning for shows with that company, and I started booking, and that's how it started. Here I am, and now I get to voice in a lot of my favorite series, Pokemon, the Dragon Ball franchise, My Hero Academia, Final Fantasy, Fire Emblem, Miraculous Ladybug, Sword Art Online, Borderlands, One Piece, Food Wars, Fruits Basket,
Cells at Work.
That's
I got you. I got the backup.
And I get to voice for Inuyasha and Kagome's daughter in the new Inuyasha series, Yashahime. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah, how awesome is that? I mean, because, Inuyasha was a very popular series back in the day, like when we used to watch it in middle school. I want to say it was like 2002.
Yep.
2003, 2002, 2004.
20 years ago, I believe, right? Or
and
pretty close, if not.
It's awesome that they ended up doing a sequel to the series because it was a popular series, just like Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball ended up getting Dragon Ball Super. So it's like now you've been on two shows that have been revived, and they're just as popular now as they were back in the day. That I wanted to kind of rewind it a little bit because we had a voice actor up here, Brian O'Vera, and when he was telling us his origin story, he told us that that's where he first met you at, was at the same con that you won the competition at. So it's cool that, we had somebody up here before, and then he wasn't sure if you had came in first place or not, but he was just like, that's where I met Morgan at. And I was just like, oh, yeah, that's cool.
Aw, so he mentioned me in his origin story?
Yes,
he did. Yeah.
That's sweet. Cool.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy.
Yeah, he was a great guy.
Yeah, man.
So, like, what were some of your favorite animes that you used to watch growing up?
Oh, I was obsessed with Pokemon. And so to be able to voice in that franchise was an incredible moment for me. I was
absolutely
ecstatic. Yep. So Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Digimon
Nice.
Those are my top 3 anime shows that I was obsessed with as a kid.
So out of the 3, which one was your favorite?
Pokemon.
I hope you say Digimon.
Oh, see, Banks is a Digimon guy, and it's like I don't know why.
It's tough. I mean, I'm a Digimon guy, but it's tough to beat out Pokemon. It's got too much.
You can't.
No,
Pokemon got too much clout, baby. Too much clout.
I don't know, man. I feel like when we were kids, like Pokemon, it was cool, but it seemed like Digimon was more for like the older kids, if that made any sense, because of the story that they were telling up there and whatnot.
And they were deleting people.
Yeah.
You know what that means, getting deleted.
You know what that means.
Yeah, you know what that means.
No, I can agree with you on that, Banks. It did. The storyline was more adult-like, where Pokemon, nothing really happened, like as far as danger.
Very dark.
Right.
The original is very dark, and they kind of they watered it down for the American audience.
Yep. On 4
It's believable, of course.
Of course, you gotta mention the 4 kids. Yeah, they watered down a lot of anime back in the day, because I know I want to say it was back in 2016 I had found out that the Yu-Gi-Oh anime from Japan was way darker than that we got growing up. With 4 kids, it's like they edited a bunch of stuff.
I mean, it's called 4 Kids.
But hey, even though it was called 4 Kids and they edited a bunch of stuff, those opening intro songs for all of their anime.
Oh yeah, for all bangers.
Like we were
for all
talking
bangers.
about One Piece.
Yeah, One Piece, right. Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, all great songs, man. Still to this day on the playlist.
So Morgan, I wanted to ask you, because you were on My Hero Academia, I wanted to get to the Inuyasha stuff later on in the interview. But yeah, like My Hero Academia, that's one of my favorite anime. It's in my top 5. It's number 2 on my list. Like, how was it getting the role as 13 up there?
I teared up in the booth.
Nice.
Because I didn't know what I was recording for. I got the message that said, "Hey, can you record with Colleen tomorrow or whatever?" And I was like, Colleen directs My Hero.
Right.
Directors at Funimation, sometimes they direct more than one show per season. And so it could have been for another show. Who knows? I didn't want to count my chickens before they hatch. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to get my hopes up. And so I went there just with the mindset of, you know what? No matter what it is, I'm going to have fun. And I get in there and Colleen's like, "Hey, congrats! You voiced for this character, 13, in My Hero Academia." And I was like, no. I have a named character?
I
have a name.
Yeah, we get that a lot too, where it's like, I'm a named character.
Yeah. And they're not minor either. Like they have a role to play in this series. And that was really cool for me. I got in the booth and I was just like, "Okay, Morgan, don't cry. You're cool. But it's also great because 13 doesn't have any mouth flaps to match.
Right.
So it's,
you can do whatever.
Sessions go by much quicker when you don't have to match the animated mouth flaps.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's a good point out.
So
go ahead, Trav.
Well, I was going to say, does that mean they can do more liberties with the dialogue?
Yeah, I suppose they could if they needed to.
Right. Well, sometimes I know, again, we've come a long way too in like dubbing, from when we were kids growing up and how they dubbed versus now. Because, I mean, they've got 20 years of experience now, and pretty much most of your directors are like legends in the game. Like, they've been doing it forever. So if anybody knows how to put a dub together, it's these people.
Well, I mean, if they're a veteran writer, sure. Hopefully, I don't know. Sometimes there's newer writers that step in, and then the directors during a session have to rewrite some lines because it doesn't quite fit the animation or it sounds awkward. Sometimes it's so awkward it can't even be read well. And so sometimes the director goes in and has to make changes because the script writer kind of sucked at their job. That happens. I'm not going to call anyone out. I'm not calling anyone out, but sometimes it happens at every studio. It's not just
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then that
Okay.
leads me to ask because I remember when obviously like when Funimation first started like really dubbing, they would take like way more liberties than they do now. Like new opening intro song, we had the Bruce Faulkner score versus the original Japanese, and then now they just kind of roll with the Japanese score. But I remember when One Piece came out, they took all the openings and they redid them in English. Maybe you don't even know, but it's like, why did they start doing that? And then what made them say, and let's not do that anymore?
I have no idea.
Right. We need to get somebody on the phone, who can answer these questions because I'm dying to know.
Yeah, that excuse me, that is interesting because I know like for Dragon Ball Super, that was one of the animes where it's like they redid all of the intro and outro songs for that series. And I just know that it's always, to me, it's kind of weird when like say if you watch the sub version originally and you're waiting to watch it dubbed, and then it's like they switch the music up, and I feel like sometimes the music can be hit or miss when it comes to doing the dub version of it.
I actually loved it, like me personally. So like when One Piece came out, and like the first 5 or 6 seasons was them redubbing, I want to say Emily did, which I don't know if you know her personally, but I know you've been on a song with Emily.
Yeah.
She's also a voice actress, and she does like a lot of anime English covers.
Yeah, I know her.
But she did a lot of the One Piece, like she was doing a lot of One Piece covers, and I loved them. You know what I mean? Having them in English, like I absolutely dug them. So, when they started just rolling with the original, it's the same song. They just replaced the words with English words. But it's like, I was like, man, they stopped doing it, dude. And I liked it. I was a fan of it.
So Morgan, I wanted to, dial it back a bit, and I wanted to ask you, like, how was it the first time that you actually stepped into the booth to record?
First time? Well, I was nervous beyond belief. The first time I was in the Funimation booth was for an audition, and it was with Jerry Jewell. And I was really nervous because I'd never auditioned for a voiceover job before. It was my first ever. But I was an actor though, so I stayed professional. I did my thing. Even though I had no voiceover experience whatsoever, I was a seasoned actor. And so I stepped in the booth, and Jerry is hilarious. I love him. And so it was a pleasant experience, and then the next time I was in the booth, it was recording Walla for Fairy Tale. And Walla is, background voices, additional voices, stuff in the background.
Yep.
Like crowd scenes, school environment scenes. Fairy Tale was the first anime I got to voice in, and that was a lot of fun. Like, yeah.
I'm a huge Fairy Tale fan. So.
Oh yeah, me too. I'm there with you, Trav.
Nice.
Yeah. I do. Yeah.
Go ahead, D.
Yeah, I wanted to ask more about the Unknown Songbird.
Yep.
Your YouTube channel. Now, would you consider that a hobby, or how did you start, doing covers for songs?
Honestly, it started with, I was really super into, opening and ending songs for anime shows. Like that's all that's really on my phone. And it's just some of the only music I jam out to, And
it's easy.
I thought to myself, I wonder if there's like an English version of this. Like I would like to hear that. And it started with Attack on Titan.
Yep.
The opening song for the first season. I was looking that up, and I'm picky, so I did not find a good English cover at the time. I didn't like anything I heard. And sometimes it's the lyrics, sometimes it's the voice, sometimes it's
the mix,
the arrangement of the music. If it's too different from the original, I don't like it. I want it to sound, I want to feel the same way I feel about the original. I want the feels.
That energy.
Yeah, exactly. There's a certain energy and emotion to it, and I wanted that just in English, so I could sing along with it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. It's just but I didn't find that for a few of the songs that I was looking up, and so then I remembered. I was like, wait, I'm a singer. Why don't I just make one? And so I did, and it, the quality was crap because it was before I had a good recording setup. I started the Blue Yeti. Horrible decision on my part. I don't know if it was a faulty mic or if all Blue Yetis just suck. I don't know. But then again, a loud voice. So it peaked no matter what. The gain would be all the way down, and it was just, the quality was horrendous. It was just not a good mic for me, I guess. I don't know. But that's what I started with, and that's what I recorded my first few covers with, and it took off. Surprisingly, I did not expect it to take off the way it did at all, because I made the music for myself. Not for other people. I just thought I'd post it just in case anyone was interested. And that went well, but it does cost money to put out those song covers, and so that's why I haven't put out any in a while.
Yeah, I think when you get around to it, I'm sure it'll be great. It was actually kind of I told Banks this earlier today when I started listening through a few of them, and I was like, it was very thoughtful, and I guess that was what you were going for anyway, what you said, because it's sometimes you don't get the covers to some of the songs, or they're hard to find and stuff, and it was just cool.
Thank you.
Kudos. No problem.
And to piggyback off of what you were saying, D, when it just comes to the anime covers, like you said, I mean, like, it can be hard finding them on the internet. And then to piggyback off of what you were saying, Morgan, back in the day, like, most of the time, all you did see were the Japanese openings. You really didn't see any English openings. And like how you said, like, you could be picky, because it's like, some people, it's just like, like the quality would be really good on the cover that they were doing, whereas sometimes the quality sounded like they recorded off of a cell phone. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you kind of already, said something like this, but you like to have music on your phone to listen to. And it's just like, if you're going to have an English cover to a song, you want to make sure it's something that you can, hook up to your Bluetooth and play when you're driving in the car. You don't want it to sound bad,
Exactly. Yeah.
That Blue Yeti.
So you grew up singing?
I did. Yeah. I've always been a singer.
So what were you, like, who were you looking up to as far as singers go and stuff like that? Like, what were you jamming outside of anime stuff?
I love Demi Lovato.
Oh, hell yeah.
Nice.
Her voice is so incredible. It's amazing. And just the heart, the emotion, the passion.
Absolutely.
Her words. And in addition to that, her talent. It is just phenomenal. And so I'm a huge fan.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I got 2 daughters, and we, multiple Demi Lovato songs are on that playlist. Let me say that. Hey, and I put them on the Camp Rock, and they love Camp Rock. So Demi gets the thumbs up in this household, let me tell you.
Nice.
So a little earlier ago, you had said that, you were an actress, and, that's what led to you getting into voice acting. But like, what led into you wanting to get into acting?
Well, funny enough, my friend Rachel in middle school, she convinced me to audition for a school play with her. And at that time, I didn't know what that would entail. And I probably really sucked. This is my first time ever.
Got to start somewhere.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Well, let's not brush by the name of that play, though. You don't remember? Man.
It might have been.
Damn, Trav.
Here. Like.
Okay.
Something like that. But I ended up really having a good time, even with just that audition. And so, and I made the cut. I got to be part of the ensemble, and I had a lot of fun. And so ever since then, I was like, ooh, I want to do this. And so I did a lot of on stage and a bit of on camera. And then I stumbled into voiceover many years later. So
That's interesting.
Now, did you do Broadway at all? Or maybe not Broadway particularly, but stage?
yes, on stage. Yep. A lot of theater.
Hell yeah.
Now, it's just like college years, like after high school, like how long did that go on for before you made that transition?
Ooh. I think maybe it started in 2004. And I just did it consistently throughout, middle school, high school, and I joined a local performing arts program company, and I continued even after high school. I continued to perform, and I started directing, and
Nice.
yeah,
Dope.
for a really long time. But I stopped after a while after I left that one company, and then I started voiceover right after that, and so I just stuck with voiceover since then.
Yeah, I noticed that we've had voice actors up here before where it's like, they did theater work or they did something before they got into voice acting, and voice acting is what stuck. And like there's so many projects that you can be a part of. Of course, when everybody gets into it, most of the time they're going to just be doing the background characters, the additional voices. But then it's just like, you get that golden ticket like Charlie did in Willy Wonka. And, you get a name on a show, and like you've had several, big characters that you voiced. So how was it, getting into Dragon Ball Super? Because like I said, with, Yashahime and then Dragon Ball, like those are like two big series right now. And,
Yes.
what was the experience like, growing up watching Dragon Ball, and then now it's like, I'm going to actually be on this anime.
Yeah, Dragon Ball actually wasn't a show I grew up with. I didn't have cable. I didn't, whenever I watched cartoons, Dragon Ball never came on for me. I don't know why, but it's not a show that I got to grow up with, unfortunately. But when I got the audition sides, I thought the character looked really cool, and I was like, oh, I hope I booked this. And I auditioned, and I booked it, and that's how that happened. As far as Yashahime, when I received that audition, I honestly did not think I would book it. I did not. I here's the thing. I kind of get cast as young boys.
I've noticed that.
Or woman.
You do sound like Trunks, just a little bit.
But they never really give me the chance to voice for a young teen girl.
Right.
Interesting.
And so when I got that audition, I was like, nah. Because here's the thing. The other two characters in Yashahime, Setsuna and Toa, those are usually the vocal types I get cast as.
Right.
Boy voice, or, the low, deep voice. Those are the kinds of voices I usually audition for and get cast as. So when I only got the audition for Moroha, I didn't get an audition side for any other character but her. So I was like, what? Come on, give me a chance with the other ones. I don't think I'm gonna book this one, But I gave it my all, of course, obviously.
Yep.
I love the character, and so I was hoping that I would book it, but I honestly didn't think I would. And so when I got the call back, like weeks later, I was like, what? No.
Right.
Yeah.
Surely they sent this to me by mistake, right? And then weeks went by, and I told myself, see, I knew it. See, I knew that they weren't going to have I just knew it. See, I told ya. And then I was just sitting on the couch one day watching cartoons, and all of a sudden I got an email, and it said Yashahime on it. And so I was like, what? I opened the email, and it says, congratulations, you've been cast as Moroha. And I was like, I did it?
Yeah, like that's
what?
huge.
I was like, I stood up on the couch, and I think I scared the guy. We had someone working on our house at the time. He was the only guy in the house at the time. He was working on the walls, scraping off some wallpaper. and I was just like, oh my God, my God. Like, I was just shouting, like, holy, what?
like Charlie.
Him, and he's just, working on the wall, and he turns around and he goes, he's just like, are you okay?
He saw you Tom Cruising on the couch, just jumping up and down. And...
I had to be like, oh yeah, everything's fine. No, nothing's wrong. Like,
Well,
but yeah, I was having a freak out moment. I was like, no way! Like, I was just mind blown. Oh my God.
And that's
that's I mean, like, it's a huge feeling, and like, don't worry, because I get the same way whenever we book people for the podcast. Like, I'll call Trav and be like, Trav, like, you'll never guess who messaged me back, and I just get really excited. So it's like, I totally understand that. It's always a feeling of joy when you know that you're about to, like, in our case, like, we're bringing on somebody big, but in your case, like, when you're getting a huge role, because this is, like I said, it's a sequel to Inuyasha, and then not only is it the sequel to Inuyasha, you are voicing Inuyasha and Kagome's daughter. So
this is iconic. This is
exactly. Yeah.
And insane. I mean, me and Banks were talking personally. It's too early to say because they've only done one season, and we still got more to get to. But the way that it's gone, I really feel like it's going to be better than Inuyasha because I'm just really, really enjoying it. And then on top of that, me and Banks talking about, we really love that dub a lot more than the sub. Like, I can't imagine watching it subbed. Like, the dub's the only way for me to watch it now. I think like the portrayal of the characters are like exactly what I imagined.
Yeah.
So couldn't you're just like I wasn't sure if I was gonna get it, but it's like I can't imagine her sounding any other way than what you've done. You know what I mean?
Aw, well, thank you.
Yeah. No, because it's like, for me, I started watching it like when it came out. Was it October of last year?
It was October.
Yeah, and I was watching it subbed, and it's like, it was okay, but I'm one of those type of people. It depends on what the anime is. Where, like, My Hero Academia, for example, I don't mind watching that subbed because it's like I've gotten used to it. But for something like Yashahime, which is a new series, it was one of those things where it's just like the sub is okay, but it's like I kind of fell out of watching it. But then I started watching it dubbed, and I was just like, okay, yeah, like, I can get behind this because, of course, the dub has some of the voice actors and actresses who.
Oh yeah, that was really cool that they brought back the cast.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
So glad that they did.
Absolutely.
I'm relieved.
Yeah, I mean, so I wanted to ask you this: like, have there been any projects that you, let's say, like My Hero Academia, for example, because 13, she appeared early on back in season 1. Like, were you a fan of the show beforehand? Like, did you read the manga or did you watch it sub?
Me? I watched it subbed before it had a dub because it's a really good show. And I did read a bit of the manga, but not all of it. I didn't get too far with the manga, but once the anime came out, I was like, oh, yes, these visuals are beautiful. And
Absolutely.
So the anime subbed.
So but Morgan,
there's a dub. I will watch the dub unless I don't like it. I'm picky, okay?
Absolutely.
I am a performer and I am a fan. So there are some dubs out there that I don't like. But I love the My Hero dub. I love it. And so once the dub, started airing, I started watching those episodes. And I'm so glad that it was a simul dub so that I got to watch it immediately. That was nice.
And that's no easy task for them to do.
Oh, yeah. No. And it's really hard on the actors, too. It's hard on the people scheduling or the one person that does all the scheduling, and on the actors, because we have to be in town every single week. We can't go on vacations because we record each episode, one episode a week, and airs a few weeks later. Like, we have to be in town. We can't leave for even a few days, really.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Now, Dee, before you ask this next question, I just want to ask, related to that, when that sort of thing happens, when you're doing the simul dub, does whoever, let's just say Funimation's doing it or whatever, do they not work out a contract with the studio that's producing the anime to get stuff early? Or is it because they're just on such a tight schedule over there too? There's really no way for y'all to get it early.
I'm pretty sure it's the tight schedule. I really do think that's it. Because it'd be nice to receive all the materials early, but I mean, I'm sure that they would if they could.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't seem like that's a possibility because, yeah, you know, it's all about churning it all out very quickly. You know?
Yep.
Get it out there. So, yeah.
Now, Morgan, I wanted to ask. Now we asked you about anime that you grew up, kind of like, you know, what were some that you like growing up? But now, is there one particular show when you have time? You know, which one do you watch now?
Ooh, well, I haven't.
Or a favorite show? You can give us that too if you want to.
Anime, like I used to watch a lot of anime, but now it's not as much.
Yeah, of course.
Myself busy.
Yep.
I've been watching through Yashahime, you know, to prepare myself for the next episodes.
Yep.
What else? I mean, I've been watching Invincible.
Oh,
nice.
hell yeah.
Oh, good. And Steven sounds incredible.
He does.
Yeah, he kills it.
Yes. And so that's been a really fun show to watch. Very dark.
Great pick. Yeah, very unexpectedly dark.
Yeah, here's the thing. I did not expect it to be that kind of show.
Yep.
I really didn't. Another one I've been watching is Harley Quinn.
No, that's another one too. It's for adults.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes, it is.
Another one that is not a cartoon, but thinking on Invincible, it kind of reminds me of
The Boys.
In terms of the darkness, The Boys on Amazon.
Yeah.
That
I knew that's what you were about to say. When you said it was dark, yeah, I was like, it's got to be The Boys.
I thought she was gonna say The Flash.
I knew it was. Oh yeah, that's dark in another way.
that's the darkest show I've ever seen. Like it really is, and I was just.
Which one? The Boys?
Yeah, The Boys.
Yeah.
Storyline is so good that I had to keep watching. And of course, Invincible, when I started watching that, I was like, whoa. It just reminded me of The Boys because of the gore, the vicious fights. Scenes were just, whoa, like that really happened. They really went there. They really
Yes, they do. They push the envelope all the time up there.
Yeah, but honestly, it's more realistic, and honestly, I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's definitely different pace than what people are used to in both cases, and I think that's why people enjoy it so much. Yeah, you're so used to, this guy's good, and you know,
but he's not.
Yeah, he makes his bed every morning. Not over there.
He makes his bed every morning.
Spoil anything for the people who are watching this and have not seen Invincible, but you should watch it. Watch the whole first episode, all the way through, and then see what you think.
Yeah,
that's right.
Absolutely.
I'm glad that you just said that because I was about to ask you a question about the show, but you know, since we're not going to say anything about the show, if you haven't watched it, watch it. It's really good.
Exactly.
Are you watching Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Hey, she said she loved Bucky, man.
I was gonna let him slide.
No, Trav, we let him slide.
But we talked about that before we started recording, though.
Yeah, we know, but
yeah, I mean, the people that's watching and listening, they don't know what we talked about before we started recording.
You're gonna be
about it beforehand, guys.
Right?
Yeah, come on. Hey, Morgan, thank you. So. Yeah, you watch Falcon and Winter Soldier. How did you feel about the season finale?
I loved it.
So good.
I don't want to give anything away, but the look on Bucky's face at the end, I was like, just that moment with those kids. You know, he's got his arm up and those kids.
That's right, kids and cake.
Oh, so precious. My heart. But that last scene. I was angry. I was so angry that they went that way with the story.
Yeah.
I didn't want that. That was out of the blue, and I don't think it should have gone that direction. But at the same time, I hear that the original story for that show was actually supposed to be about a virus, and they had to change everything, apparently.
I didn't know that.
Is that... Oh, yeah, me either.
I don't really know.
That would be wild, though.
I was gonna ask if they changed it based on COVID.
Well,
You know,
yeah, obviously.
that C-19 they didn't want.
Yeah.
I don't know if people know that or if I'm not supposed to know that.
Spoiler alert!
Man, that's the first time I've heard about it.
I have no idea, but hopefully this is not NDA information. I hope not. But I heard that the story revolved around a virus getting out.
Well, I'm
And
glad it changed.
So there was too many similarities to what was started actually happening
Yeah.
in the world, and so they had to rewrite their entire story. Apparently,
Well, they crushed it in that rewrite.
Yeah.
They crushed it.
Hey,
Yeah.
sometimes things happen for a reason,
Mhm.
and
That's right.
I'm just saying, based off of that, I'm like, oh, thank God something happened, because that sounds very lame, in my opinion.
It's just I
In
like what we got.
comparison to what we got.
Damn
You know
right.
what I
Well,
mean?
Yep.
Well, when you think about the virus angle, like it just sounds like a 90s movie.
No, it sounds like that show. What's the name of that show?
Stephen King
24.
book.
Isn't
Yeah,
that what
24.
24 is about?
come on. I like
Mhm.
24.
Yeah. I think that's about a virus or something like that too, isn't it?
I've never watched
So
it. I'm sorry.
24 is the one where it's a cop and the whole season takes place in
Based in 24 hours. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
So,
of what's,
okay, so
yeah, go ahead.
I've never watched 24 before. So does
Really good.
so
yeah, Trav, my
so
fault. I mixed them
is
up.
on every episode they have to solve the case in 24 hours.
No, the whole season is 24
This season,
hours.
yeah, it's 24 hours. The
It's
whole
a
show
long
takes
story.
place.
Okay.
A lot of stuff happens in 24
24
hours.
yeah.
Let me
Yes,
just
sir.
tell you.
So
This
like,
man's got a hell of a life.
Yeah.
so
Jesus.
now let me ask you this: so are there 24 episodes on 24, or
I don't think so. You know,
I'm
but
just-
that maybe.
I'm just asking because it's
I don't
Look it
think
up.
so.
Google. Hey Siri.
Hey
No,
Siri.
each episode an hour long, and they like count it down. They put the clock up.
Oh, that would be wild.
Yep. I
I'm
think that's
sure each episode is an
like
hour,
timestamp it.
and it's an hour of that 24 hours. I'm pretty sure.
nah,
Hmm.
I'm just it's
So what happens at 12 that night? Just kidding.
Yeah. And so it is 24 episodes per season. So
Oh,
yeah,
for
it's
real?
definitely- so it's definitely an hour an episode, and there's 24 episodes, and it's
Bro, that's crazy. Like
it's
for
a
real.
really good show though.
Hey, for real,
used to
I was
watch it
kind
back
of
in the
being
day.
sarcastic when I asked, "Is it 24 episodes?"
What a concept though that they brought to the
Hey, it
Really
worked.
cool.
It
It's a
worked.
great show.
Yeah.
Check it out.
So then let me ask you then, Morgan, a lot of, when you talk about, we just had the Oscars. A lot of actors will talk about like other people's performances that they're just like, I love your performance. Obviously, you being a voice actor, just like me being a mix engineer, I can't listen to music just like listening to music. I gotta like pick it apart and see what they actually did and why I don't like it. Obviously I'm assuming you do that too when you watch stuff, but like whose performances
Yes.
are you just like they're so good?
Ian Sinclair.
Ian Sinclair.
He is phenomenal. He can turn any character into something that is just magic.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I was watching Black Clover. I voiced for a small role in that show. And I remember watching it, the sub. I watched it in Japanese first. And
Right.
the character that he voices for, I didn't like that character at all. I did not like him. And then I started watching the dub.
Right.
Bearing. And all of a sudden, Ian's voice came out of that character's mouth. And his acting was so phenomenal. He changed the character somehow. He changed the character to be likable. I
Right.
don't know. There was something about what he embodied in that voice that he gave the
Absolutely.
character that I was just like, oh my God, I love him.
Yeah, he does that.
He
He
voices
does that on
Bliss.
One Piece. He does that on One Piece too. As Brooke, if you watch the sub and then watch his performance blows the Japanese one out. No disrespect, but it's like his performance as Brooke is A1 in One Piece.
Another one.
Right.
He is a phenomenal actor, a genius with comedy.
Mhm.
He is definitely one of my favorite voice actors of all time.
That's good.
So have there been any voice actors or voice actresses that that you marked out, like being able to work with them, or like probably being at a con and like marking out? Because like we had Kyle Hebert up here, right? And he's a huge wrestling fan. And he was telling us when he was at some of the cons that it's just like he was meeting wrestlers who he grew up watching. And it's just like, you got to, keep it professional and whatnot. But at the same time, it's just like, yo, I'm standing right next to Ric Flair. So have there ever been any moments where it's just like, you just marked out and you just became a straight fan?
Yes. Yes. I love the directors I get to work with at Funimation, and Caitlin Glass is definitely one of them.
Oh, hell yes.
She cast me in my first lead role in an anime series, and it was great to be able to work with her. Another one is Christopher Sabat.
Oh, hell
I've
yeah.
been in a few shows with him and video games, and he's a swell guy, y'all. He's one good guy. He really
He's
is.
a swell guy.
Yeah, we always hear good things about him.
And so it's great to be a part of some titles with him because he's awesome. And let's see. I've been to a lot of conventions, a lot of them being, GalaxyCon, like Comic-Con type
Right.
events.
Yeah.
Where there are on-camera stars. And there's honestly too many to list. There really is. Like, I've gotten to meet a lot of cool people. One of them, though, is Josh Keaton.
Oh, wow.
He's a nice guy. Like, I was nervous because, like, I heard that he was going to be a guest at the event as well. Like, we were both guesting at this Comic-Con event, and I was like, oh my god, there's no line at his autograph table right now. Should I say hi? And so I went up and, like, because I'm a huge Voltron fan.
Right, yeah.
Nice.
Voltron.
We see that.
Yeah.
Obsession of mine, y'all. It really is. And like, you have no idea. I'm obsessed.
That's a good show to be a fan of.
Yeah.
I think we got a little
Voltrons.
idea. You got a whole song about it. So.
And it was really cool because, like, I went up to his table to say hi, and he said, "You're Morgan Berry," and I was like,
Oh, man.
He knows
Oh,
who
wow.
I am. That was cool. I was like, "And you're Josh Keaton," like, hey, like, that's a cool moment,
Yeah.
As a fan, I was flattered. I was like, oh my gosh, and it was really nice to meet him. He's super, super nice guy, and it was a cool moment.
That is really cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's
Yeah.
always cool when it's like, because it's unexpected. Like, he knew who you were. It's like, you know me.
Welcoming, especially when they're a welcoming person. Like I remember I went to one of his panels that same weekend, and he gave me a hug, like, before he went up to the stage, and I was like,
Mhm.
oh, my heart. It was really, as a fan, I was like, and as a fellow performer, I was just like,
yeah.
oh, it was really nice to have that recognition, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He looked at you as an equal.
Yep.
Mhm.
Exactly. He wasn't
Respect.
just walking me over,
Right, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Actually made the effort to say hi and to treat me like
A
like
human.
I was part of the crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So
Well,
have there? Oh, go ahead. Try. Were you about to ask a
No, I was
question?
going to say, because we always hear, we have a lot of, like, anime voice actors on here. Or they talk about there's just, like, a different world when you cross over into, like, American cartoons and like movies. And I mean, the guys, I mean, we're all superhero fans. So I mean, the dude's done so many superhero roles in superhero movies and stuff. So it's like, for him to just, look at you as eye to eye is like, that would blow my mind too.
Yeah.
It was nice. It was a nice feeling.
Great moment.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Thanks.
the next question I was going to ask is, like, with wrestling for me, like, there have been people who I've wrestled in the ring with that it's just like, I always love having matches with these people because it's like we always bring the best out of each other. Has there been any actors and actresses that you work with that that you enjoy doing projects with all the time?
Yes, there are people like that in my life. Kira Buckland is definitely one of them. She's one of my best friends, and she's so supportive and kind and fun, and I just adore her. And another one would definitely be Caitlin Glass.
Mhm.
She was like, one of my first friends in the voiceover industry, and it's great that I got the chance to work with her and hang out with her, and just, she's such a good person. There's really good people in this industry. There are, and I'm blessed to have them in my life.
That's heartwarming. I feel it.
Yeah.
I'm getting emotional about it.
It's getting warm in here.
It is.
This hot. This booth is good.
I bet.
So let's talk about Morgan Berry when she's not doing voice acting work and when you're not singing. Like, what are some of the things that you like to do when you're not doing that stuff?
Well, I'm a workaholic, so I always like to be doing something involving work. And I love traveling for conventions. And that's honestly just, I love it so much.
It's got to be a fun part of it.
It is. But on my off time, I am watching TV, snacking on food, playing Skyrim. I
Nice.
love role-playing games. And reading fan fiction.
Wow.
Yeah, that's all I do, y'all. I do not go camping. I don't go hiking. I don't go out hunting. I am not that kind of person. I'm the kind of person that will go into the great outdoors and explore and just. I hate camping. And hiking, no, thank you.
Yes.
Running, who likes running? I mean, I guess people who run professionally like running, but I don't. I don't like running. I would rather stay indoors and chill on the couch, watch a good show, eat some snacks. And I'm not an athletic person at all.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no. Now, Morgan, you mentioned role-playing games. I got a two-parter for you. First, what is your console or preferred gaming engine or whatnot? Not engine per se, but do you use PC or?
Nah, I don't. I mean, I play a lot of games on my Switch nowadays because I can anywhere with me. It's just so convenient, guys. It started with a PlayStation, Nintendo, but out of all the consoles I've ever gamed on, the Switch.
Absolutely.
Switch is pretty sweet.
And it's such a, it's a nice size screen. It's decent for, something you can take with you on the go. And so whenever I have long flights, I play Skyrim right there on the plane. It's just so convenient.
I was going to say, they ported so much stuff over to it.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes, they did. And I'm excited. There's also The Witcher. I put The Witcher 3 on my Switch as well.
Right. How do you like that one?
Pretty, though. I'll admit, the graphics aren't as pretty on Switch.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, but
it's not unplayable. Right.
No, I don't think it's unplayable. There's a ton to do in The Witcher 3, too. So much stuff on that game.
Yeah.
So, good picks.
So for, any listeners that maybe they write their own fan fiction and, maybe they're listening and you're a fan of their fan fiction, what are some fan fictions that you've read and you really enjoyed?
Oh my gosh, don't out me like that. No, seriously though, there's too many. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I found out that the Safari app on an iPhone has a limit of 500 tabs.
Wow.
That
many fan fictions?
No, we're talking about that many tabs. Dude, screw that many fan fictions.
Yeah.
It got to the point
500 tabs.
I have so many more that I wanted to read that I opened. Now I just put the links in a note tab on my notes app.
Yeah.
But I still have a lot of tabs open. There are too many for me to list. There really are. I can't do that. I can't. There's so many.
No, I totally understand that because it's sometimes it's you just keep on, opening link after link after link after link.
My OCD can't handle that.
Yeah, and it's just
I would freak
it's
out.
just dang, when did I open this up? And then sometimes you don't want to close it because you're afraid that you're never gonna, find that link again.
Exactly.
And it's just why don't you just bookmark it?
That I'm gonna forget about it or something. But I keep telling myself to go through those tabs and start reading through them. And I do, but whenever I read them, I always add another. And so it's never ending.
No, I create bookmark folders. And then just because once I hit, I delete all my text messages. I only keep 3. I don't even know what they call them, but I only keep 3 open on my phone at all times. And when it comes to tabs, I can't go more than 3's my number. Once I hit 3 tabs, I get flustered and I gotta start deleting. I can't do it. 500 tabs open. My God, I would lose it.
Well,
I mean, I don't know. I eventually I will go through all those older tabs and I will, clear them out to make room for more. It's just, I don't know. That is a huge part of my hobby. Something I love to do. I don't read a lot of books. I read fan fiction.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in love with the characters. I just love the stories, the characters, and I'm just like, I just want to cling to them. Sometimes a show wraps, the last season, sometimes it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! So I'm like, you know what? To heal my broken heart, I need to read some fan fiction that will fix the last season of this show. And I'll just pretend like that season never happened.
And you've never written any of your own?
Don't out me like
You
that.
have an anonymous fan fiction account. Okay.
Well,
That's
no.
all we need to know.
Like I've written a few things with my friend, but it's fun. I've never posted it anywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, hey, that's how Twilight started. It started out as what was it, a Harry Potter fan fiction or something?
What?
Yeah, something
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
That's how Twilight started, and then it got its own bearings and created its own characters and stuff. But yeah, Twilight was fan fiction from like Harry Potter or something, and then it got super hot online and turned into what you saw. Yeah, drop some knowledge on you. You're welcome.
Boom! Boom!
Wow.
Okay, so I got one final question for you, Morgan. I think the best part about this show is bringing people on to not talk about your career, but to talk about who you are.
That's right.
So for the fans listening, what is something you want them to take away about Morgan Berry?
Oh, about me.
I have a follow-up too.
Oh,
Yes.
I don't.
Well done, Travis. Well done.
Something inspirational.
Oh, well, hey, we know you're super into Skyrim. We know you love fan fiction.
Yeah.
What
you love Invincible.
We know you like the snack.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You don't like to run.
Yeah, you don't like to run.
I have basically told you everything about me that I feel encompasses my personality.
Then
And
you
that's
can-
what we're about up here. It's always cool, finding out who the person is behind the mic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now this is something I'll piggyback off of Trav since it was an empty question. What is your favorite horror movie or was growing up? What spooked you? Tell us that one.
I'm not a fan of the horror genre because
Okay.
it's cool. I have
Yep.
nothing against it. I just
Not necessarily. It doesn't have to be. Gore doesn't make it a horror movie.
I
It
just
could be.
don't like seeing people get hurt. I don't like seeing that. But
Okay.
and that's why The Boys was such a hard show to watch.
Because all the
But
gore.
storyline-
Yeah.
The storyline is good, then I will continue to watch it. And
Yeah, but it's crazy.
One of the series I like is the Saw.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really the storyline. I like it, and each
Yeah.
I was intrigued by it, but at the same
Keeps you guessing.
I don't like the gore, but I was able to handle it. One
Okay.
movie that scared me as a child though
There
was
you go.
The Ring.
Wow.
I've never seen that movie.
Of course. It's so
We
good.
know.
Of course.
Put it on the list.
It's one of the best PG-13 horror movies.
Yes. That's where I was going with that. Is it doesn't have to be.
Guys, it made me scared of my TV.
Right, yeah. And
Yep.
the DVD had the actual movie that you could watch,
Mhm.
that they watch. So it's like, I
I'm
remember.
not watching that. I mean,
My mom played it one day after we got done watching it, and I thought I was a badass. And I was like, yeah, watch it. I'll watch it. I was scared that night, boy, let me tell you.
Dude, imagine if your parents had the double remote, like remote that would work for your room, and they just turned your TV on. Dude, you would have been a goner.
Right when it shows her crawling out of
crawling out the TV.
Uh-huh.
out the TV, or well, because here's the thing: she crawls out of the well through the TV. And
TV,
then
yeah.
TV.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So
And
I was just curious.
her body moves as she's crawling. It's just like,
Mhm.
Creepy. Oh!
Yeah, it's like, hey, imagine if you're watching it and you're wearing a VR headset.
Oh God.
Uh-huh.
Nobody's
Hey,
doing that.
But hey, Morgan, thank you for joining us on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. You were a great guest, and we appreciate you coming up here with us.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Hell yeah.
So before we let you go, let everybody in social media land know where they can find Morgan Berry at.
Cool. Hey guys, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at the Morgan Berry. I also have a Facebook fan page at the Morgan Berry, and you can find me on YouTube as the Unknown Songbird.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you check out that Apple Music and Spotify account.
Oh yeah,
try it.
Apple Music, Google Play, the Google Store. I don't know. My music is just kind of out there.
Yep.
And that's a good
Check it out. That's right.
All right. Thank you, Morgan. And D, let everybody know where they can find you in the social media land.
First and foremost, Morgan, take that with you. Only use it when you need to. And you can find me at rebellious_D23 at Instagram.com. Trav?
Hey, and you can find me at the same place at ZK Audio, as well as over on the Twitter at TARVIOSZK. And Banks, if they are in need of a hero, where they gonna find one?
You can find me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, at KingBenji_Banks on Twitter and Instagram. And you can look me up on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mrs. Zuckerberg. Thank you, everybody, for checking out this episode. Like I always say, keep that pinky up and stay positive. Peace.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Podcast, we got that too. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for further episodes and notifications. Thanks a lot to our patrons. And if you don't mind, join the Patreon. We'll be having new specials coming up soon.